Hi, I know you're not looking at me, you're looking at my tablet. There's a reason for that. I am currently in Walcott, Iowa, and the biggest attraction in Walcott, Iowa is it is the supposed largest truck stop on the planet. I'm parked across the street from it. I don't know if they actually are the largest on the planet, but they are pretty freaking big. We've got like 900 parking spots, and it's a 3-story building. Plus, it's got a fuel island building on top of that. Plus, it's got a trucking museum. It's huge. Anyway, I wanted to do, and I know I don't normally tell you where exactly I'm at, but for the purposes of this particular video, it's kind of important because this video I want to talk about GPSs, and I don't mean just GPS. I mean GPSs. I function with about 3 separate GPS devices in the truck. 2 of them are apps. One is one everybody uses, and that is Google Maps. So let's start with that one. For the purposes of this video, I have picked a truck stop that I know of in Post Falls, Idaho, from where I'm at in Iowa. Okay, just a Flying J Travel Center. And according to Google Maps, it is 1,592 miles away. I don't worry about the time because it's based on cars. Now this is wrong. This is not the way that I'm going to go. But the reason I use this is for locations that I've never been to before. I can always take a look at that particular location. And if you'll bear with me just a minute. Post Falls. No, not Pot Falls. Oh, you guys are going to have fun with that one. There we go. Post Falls, Idaho. Okay. I can always take my layers, do satellite, and zoom in and get a really good idea of what the facility is going to look like when I get there. So you can see in the image, there's lots of truck parking, and it is close to Interstate 90, and I can find out that I'm going to be taking exit 2 off of Interstate 90 to get there, and I can take a look at the turns, make sure that they're ones that I can actually physically make, and sometimes I can click on, I'll get a street view, and I can get, just like you do with any Google Maps, like most people do to try and find out where they're going. Okay. So this is an important tool for me. I can also click on the location and look up any reviews. Now, truck drivers have gotten better about it. On Google Maps, if you're going to a warehouse, you can usually find a review that will tell you whether there's overnight parking, whether you can park on the street, if the GPS address is going to take you where you want to go, because typically warehouse GPS or warehouse addresses are the address of the office. The truck routing, the truck entrance may be on another street altogether. So those reviews help you get that information. So I get a lot of information from Google Maps. But like I said, I do not use it for routing because it's wrong. It does not take into consideration the fact that my vehicle is 13.5 feet tall. It does not take into consideration that height can be as high as 80,000 pounds in weight, and that there's all kinds of weight restrictions. So Google Maps, while it gives me a lot of information, it does not tell me where to go. Now, I'm not going to review all kinds of different apps out there because I don't use all kinds of different apps. I'm just going to show you the one that I use. This is a truck stop GPS mapping app, and I've put in the travel center that I'm headed to. I can go ahead and hit that one. It tells me that it's calculating routes, it's avoiding the truck restricted roads, it's avoiding low bridges, and it's checking all my weight restrictions. So in its processing, I thought it would be ready. I apologize for that. But this one gives me 2 options. one that is 1,666 miles, and it gives me cheapest, that's all gas prices, but it'll show me that's what my destination looks like. I can click on here to get the street view. I can see that there's 102 truck stops along the way. I can see that there's 13 way stations and all kinds of different things. But I can also zoom in because it's got multiple ones. This is all interstate travel. So I know that that's going to be okay. But it's giving me the other option on this green one over here to go, well, that's not all freeway, but those are some pretty good roads. But I don't know. I mean, 35 to 90, I know this is interstate. I can take that, no problem. If it's blue, it's interstate. You may or may not know these routes. But let's take a look how many miles that one actually is. That's 653 miles. It's a day. It's 24 hours and 34 minutes of driving, whereas the other one is 24 hours and 28 minutes of driving. So this one, the blue route is a little bit shorter time-wise, a little bit longer distance-wise. And that's probably the way that I would end up going because it's all interstate. So if you take a look, that was 1666. Let's go ahead and hit start. So it gives me the routing on that. And then while it's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and jump back over to the Google Maps. And that one was telling me 1592, which is 66 plus 8. So that's 76 miles difference. Now, I did say I had a third one. Now, these are based ones. Now, this one, while it gives me routing and timing, here it'll give me the distance. It'll give me, I forget what it gives me. It gives me how much time is left. Yeah, it gives me 3 little things there. Doesn't give me a whole lot of information. Now, I have a standalone GPS, which is this one. I'm going to have to angle the camera. Bear with me just a second. All right. This one is my standalone. All it is GPS. Now, this one is telling me that to get there, it's going to be 1597. I don't have the option to change that. So I'll be using this one to go the routing that I want to go. But even with that one, I'll still have information on this one that the other one won't give me. For example, I can go up here, hit add a stop, hit travel centers, and it will show me all kinds of truck stops along my route. See, there's the Iowa 80. Let's click on that. I can go in, I can click on the truck stop, I can get some information on it. I can get address, phone number, what kind of parking they've got, services, laundry, shower, all kinds of stuff, information that I can on that particular truck stop. It does not give me the satellite information, but I can add that stop to my trip. Now, if I'm trying to figure out, okay, I want to go, I'm at a quarter tank of fuel, so I'll need to stop and get fuel along the way. I can go, okay, that one works. There is a Pilot truck stop. Oh, see, that's on the road that I don't want to take. So I have to go and look for something more appropriate. That's I-35, I-90. Okay, so this one's on I-90. This is along the route. This is where the routes converge. So that's a Love's truck stop. It's 332 miles. I can get more information on it. This one will not tell me the fuel prices because this only updates quarterly, whereas this one updates because it's using cell service. The app one will update all the time. This one does not, like I said, it only updates quarterly, and that's only if I tell it to update. So this one I use for a lot of information. The other thing is, and you can't see it because I'm not going down the road, but you see that right there, 399, it gives you the exit number. As I'm going down the road, when I'm looking at the map, in this section down here, right next to this little dot, if I'm on the road, it will give me a green square with what mile marker I'm at, which, believe it or not, I have used that very often because it's helpful if you see an accident that just happened, but no, there's no services there. I can dial 911. I can tell them what freeway it's on, near what mile marker, and they can get services there to help people. Anyway, so I know that's a little bit of information just on GPSs. And I didn't even tackle maps. That one is a whole nother ball of wax. So anyway, that's GPS versus GPS versus GPS. I will touch base with y'all later.